Greetings, YouTube friends. It's Joyce from Moore's Patch of Heaven Homestead, and today I wanted to share with you a few different types of teas that we use around the homestead. I know this time of year a lot of folks are getting sick, and we have been blessed not to have gotten most of that. Avonlea has a cough right now, but for the most part we have been well, and we're so thankful for that. But I wanted to share a couple different remedies on some different types of teas that you could drink during this season. I grew up in a family where we drank tea all the time, black tea. We were never sick. If we ever got sick, Mom would give us a cup of tea. She'd make us lay down, and we would go to school the next day. We played outside a lot. We would breathe fresh air. I think that a lot of kids nowadays sit in front of the TV, they don't get outside, they don't breathe fresh air, they don't get the exercise they need, and so there's lots of sickness. We believe in trying to do things a little bit more natural. If there's a cough, we will do honey with lemon. We also believe in lots and lots of garlic. When Clayton, our fifth child was born, he was born at home, and I had him really quick. He came very fast, and they said that he had swallowed some of the fluid in the sac, and so usually that would cause an infection and baby would have to be in the hospital. My midwife was such a wonderful, godly woman, prayed with us, and also said, let's put garlic on baby's heels. So slices of little slices of garlic on baby's heel with a Band-Aid and a little sock. Within seconds, the garlic goes into the bloodstream and you'll smell it on the mouth. It is simply amazing. Baby never got any kind of infection, and we to this day still do that. If our children are very sick, we will crush up some garlic, slice a piece, put it on the bottom of their heels with a Band-Aid. They wear socks, they go to bed, and within no time you will smell that on their breath. That goes in the bloodstream that quickly. And garlic is a natural antibiotic. So if you are sick, use the garlic. Our daughter, our oldest daughter, recently caught something, and she had this cough and she couldn't knock what was going on, so I started telling her, let's make garlic soup. So garlic and onions in hot water, season that well with pink Himalayan salt, which is full of minerals. She started drinking that, and in no time was feeling so much better. And I know that you don't want to smell like garlic. Take a menthol cough drop afterwards. That'll kill anything. So anyway, that's what I was telling her, because she said, well, I have to work. What am I going to do? I said, just be popping those menthol cough drops if you feel like you have some garlic breath, and that will do it. But anyway, I wanted to show you a couple different ways to use some teas. Tea is just something that all of us should drink all the time. There's no reason why not to. You can drink it cold, you can drink it hot. I picked up these two of these cute little thermoses that were brand new at a garage sale for $1 a piece. They are absolutely wonderful. They have this lid, and I wanted to show you how this works. And I use this every single day. I put my little peppermint tea bag in here, and then I stick it in there with the hot water. This stays hot all day long. It is crazy. And I drink peppermint tea every day, in the morning and at night. It's great for digestion. I wrote all this down because I wanted to tell you what a few of the teas were good for. And peppermint being my ultimate favorite, I can't go a day without peppermint tea. It's so crazy because my body just longs for it. But peppermint tea clears congestion in the nose, the throat, and the lungs. So if you are having any kind of ailments with that, peppermint tea is your go-to. I buy tea bags, but then also we have bulk tea that we grew, bulk mint that we grew in our garden, and it'll be the full leaves like this, and I just crush them up. You can stick them in one of these little things, fill it with tea, stick it in your mug, pour your hot water on there, let it steep, or you can use one of these. It's also a little tea thing. This is an old one that I think I got at a flea market years ago. And you put your tea leaves in there, and then you pour your hot water right over the top, and it will infuse the water. This is another way that you can do that, with your tea or actually, no, this is for your tea bag. Never mind, that was for your tea bag. This little guy, it's silicone. I'm not real crazy about silicone, but someone had got me this with a teacup a few years ago, I think for a Christmas party. And you can put your tea leaves in here, and you just kind of close up his little britches, like so. And you can hang him from a cup like this, pour your hot water in there, and voila, he is steeping in your cup of hot water. I like this because I like for my tea to steep, so I can cover it and let it sit for 10 minutes. Usually if you're doing bulk herbs, like so, you will take, what I usually do is I don't even use any of these things. I throw the tea leaves, there's a pan of water. I will show you exactly how I do it. I will just take like a handful of these. This is peppermint. You can't go wrong with how much peppermint you put in there. And none of these teas are going to hurt you in any way. And so I will just throw a bunch of tea leaves in there, and then I will bring it to a boil. I'm going to put that on there, bring it to a boil. Then I will stick a lid on there, and after 10 minutes of letting it steep, it is ready. Then I will use a little tea strainer, which I keep on hand. I will put that over my cup like that and pour my tea in there, and usually the tea leaves I will give to the chickens. Nothing ever goes to waste. There are so many different ways of doing it. Here's some black tea. Now for black tea like this, you would want to stick it in probably a tea ball, like so. And this little tea ball, you put your tea in there, tea leaves, and then you just hang it inside of your cup like that, and then you can cover it, and again, just let it steep. There's so many ways that you can, here's a teapot as well, and you could do the same thing with this, or with the ball, or like I do it on the stove top, and then pour it into the teapot. And then I have a little tea cozy that goes over this, and it'll keep the teapot warm for a few hours. And so my children, that way they can just pour tea and have hot tea. But yes, having grown up in a family where we drank lots and lots of tea, it's just become, second nature for me. It's our go-to for anything. I wanted to share with you red clover. These are red clovers that we grew in our garden. If you could smell the smell, it's so delicious smelling. It smells like, kind of like honey and a sweet flowery honey. Anyway, red clover reduces PMS. If you have issues with PMS, this is a good female. I wouldn't say it's just for female, but it is good for women with any kind of female issues. It is good for to continue having good bone strength. It's good for your bones. It's also good for cardiovascular health. So good for that. It lowers the risk of prostate and endometrial cancer. So it can help fight that. So if you're having any kind of hormonal issues, red clover is the tea for you, and it's so yummy. It's also good for skin inflammation. If you're having issues with your skin, it's good to make a salve out of, and fights respiratory infections. So that was one of the ones I wanted to tell you for colds. It's good for respiratory infections because RSV, there we go. Couldn't think of that. Children are having RSV. Mothers who can drink that, who are nursing babies, would help that way. And it's such a good tea that you could probably give drops to the baby. I'm all about giving babies, herbal things that are good for them. I know that honey is something they say not to give a baby before a year, but I had an herbalist that lived in town, little old man. He said he thought that was completely wacko, but we didn't, just because we'd heard so much, so we stayed away from honey for the first year. But that is something for respiratory issues. And then one more that I wanted to talk to you about was milk thistle. Milk thistle is right here, and this is something that you would want to put in a tea ball because it's like a loose kind of herb. I went ahead and got the seeds and stuck it in my coffee grinder and made it into more of a powder. And so that can be stuck in this, or it can be directly put in the water like the other. And then you just strain it. And milk thistle is so good for your liver. When we start having issues, sometimes it's because we need to clean house. And the best way to clean house is through the liver. Clean the liver. We're supposed to do that like every 6 months is what our nutritionist has said. We don't always do that, but by drinking milk thistle, you are cleaning the liver. And so that helps the liver function. And it's also good for normal cell development, which is very important. And then also it regulates hormones. It regulates our hormones. And it seems like so many of our issues anymore are because of hormonal issues. And those can simply be fixed by, drinking certain teas, taking certain herbs. It also supports the kidneys. That's another thing that needs to be cleaned on a regular basis, is keeping those kidneys clean. Drink, 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 drink. And a way that you can do that is by drinking lots and lots of tea. And then it also helps with heartburn and your cholesterol. So herbs are just so good. God created an herb for everything. I know that anymore, there's a medicine for everything. But you know what? The Lord created an herb for everything. So before you start on the medication, before you run to the doctor, oh no, I need to be on antibiotics, do garlic. Oh, looks like my tea has come to a boil, so I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to go ahead and cover it and let it steep for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to drink some yummy peppermint tea. And I have some in here as well. But anyway, instead of running to the doctor for everything, try to do it naturally. The body will thank you for that, because it keeps the body healthy that way. When we give it all those antibiotics, we're tearing down our immune system. Then we have to start working on the gut, taking in yogurt, kombucha, different things, fermented foods, sauerkraut to get that gut back in order. But instead, try garlic, do the honey. There's so many things for building the immune system. I think I mentioned one of them was an immune builder. Let's see here. I want to make sure that I say that right. I believe it was the milk thistle. But anyway, there are so many immune building herbs. Do your research. That's what I do. If I hear someone say something, I always research it first before I, believe what they say. But these things, this is a win-win. You can't go wrong. And even if you just sip on, peppermint tea every day, it's so, so good for you. It's just like a mood lifter for me. I love it. And it seems like once I get started, I can't just have one cup. I have to have a lot. So I am filling this thing all day long and sipping on it. But anyway, one way that you can sweeten your tea is with some honey. We use stevia as well. We don't sweeten with sugar, and a lot of the herbs are so sweet that you don't even have to add anything to it. But anyway, I just wanted to share, a few different teas and a few different ways to use your tea. If you're not doing it, start. Now's the time when the weather's cold. We got a little bit of snow here today. So what better than to have, soup or chili and hot tea. Oh my word. That is just a mood lifter for everyone, and it helps with those that are fighting depression because they can't go outside. Hot tea and honey. But anyway, guys, I hope that you are doing well, staying healthy. Try some of these things, see if it works for you. Put it into practice. Try doing things a little bit more natural. But anyway, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed having tea with me and that you'll give us a thumbs up and tell your friends about us. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It would help us out tremendously. We would love it. And again, we got a P.O. box, so if you'd like to send us some Christmas cards, we would love to get them from you. We'd love to see a picture of who you are. Put a face to the names, and we love getting comments from you. So anyway, guys, until next time, God bless you.